Hey, everybody seemed to be having some problems. I actually did start over the stream, so hopefully we'll get some people back on. We had some people joining us. Hey, Kay, is this better? Let me know. I don't know. It's one of those days. I got up early this morning and I started working on my crowdfunding pitch video for when we go live, and the sound was all messed up. So glad to hear, Kay. Thanks so much. I really appreciate that. Hopefully we'll get people back on. I tagged a bunch of people to get them in here. And if you share this out and let people know that I'm actually back and on and doing stuff, try and get people to come in and watch it, that would be great, because I would love to I'd love to get this message out. I got a lot of good stuff today. I got some exciting news to tell you about the impact. Yeah, lesson in persistence for sure, Kay. I've got a lot of information to share with you, some good news about the crowdfunding campaign. I just wanted to give a little bit of content here at the beginning of this. And it's really about the psychological tactics that are practiced by successful crowdfunding campaigns. Nick Kolenda published 19 of these tactics in his article, 19 Psychological Tactics for Successful Crowdfunding Campaigns. And the link to his article is actually in the notes up there. If you're interested in the article itself, it's a great read. There are a couple of things that he recommends. You know, there are a couple of different types of platforms. There's an all or nothing platform. Kickstarter is an all or nothing platform. That means that either you reach your goals or you get nothing. And that's exactly what Nick is recommending from the data that he collected. He collected a lot of data about crowdfunding campaigns and how they worked and what really works in these types of situations. So he has some really good information about that. So I'm just going to share some of that stuff with you. For instance, you know, it's there's some research on this where they analyzed over 47,000 campaigns from Indiegogo, and they looked at the percentage of projects that were funded and the average number of backers. And they found out that all or nothing projects were more successful, even though there were less of them. And the reason is that it's a signal that lets people know that you're in this all the way. And it also reduces your perceived risk. So if the project doesn't go through, if they don't raise enough money, then you have a much less risk if this is an all or nothing project. So you'll know at least that they have the funding for sure. So tactic number 2, include a breakdown of donation spending. In other words, what are you going to do with the money once you get the money? Hey, Dee, welcome back. Thank you. As Kay said, a lesson in persistence. I really appreciate you coming back and making this special effort to find us again. And thanks so much for your support on this project. It's a pretty amazing project that we've got going. So strategy, convey your reputation, you know, describe your education, your past successes and things like that. People want to do projects with people that they trust. And so when you're raising funding, people want to know, have you had experience before? Have you had success before? You need to share that information with them. So that's one of the reasons that I share things like the fact that we were able to reach 30 million people, over 30 million people within a 30-day period of time in a successful campaign to raise awareness for teen suicide prevention, and how we got that out using strategies that I developed over a decade worth of research and learning and all those kinds of things to multiply our impact. So that hopefully will give people the confidence that they need to know. The fact that I've been able to, you know, put multiple websites in the top 3,000 sites on the internet is a helpful tool to making this project successful. Number 4, donate to other crowdfunding projects. So if you've read the book Influence by Cialdini, you know the power of I can't even say that word. Reciprocity. Reciprocity. That means that when you do something for somebody else, they want to return that favor. And that's a powerful role in online communities. So if you can build that feeling of reciprocity, then you're going to be more connected to the people that are around you. Strategy, trigger their self-awareness. So self-awareness has to do with a couple of things, and he talks a little bit about doing some things that I'm not doing right this second, but I'll do for just a second, which is look directly at the camera. You know, I've got a lot of notes and stuff up here in the corner, things I don't want to forget to say, but people want to know that you're talking directly to them and that you care about them. And so when you do something like the pitch video that I was trying to do this morning, you want to be able to either memorize that or work off of a teleprompter, something that enables you to break it up enough so that you can talk directly into the camera and people can feel like they're talking to you directly, just like I'm talking to you directly right now. Now I'm going to go off and I'm going to look at my notes and see what the heck's coming up next. So we also, you know, one of the important things of that is being authentic, you know, being real, so that you know exactly what I'm doing. I'm not trying to put anything over on you. I'm just telling you what the situation is. I got a lot to say and I want to remember it all, so I'm looking out. Here's another tactic, number 7. Reference an inexpensive hedonic product. What's a hedonic product? Well, it's basically a inexpensive kind of product that you can see it in the real world. So I mentioned that if every one of my 5,000 friends on Facebook were to donate $2 to this campaign, that we would hit our initial goal. So to make that more realistic, instead of saying $2, think $2 as the price of a gourmet cookie or something like that. You know, so give them something physical that they can talk about, less than a cup of coffee, you know, those kinds of things when you're talking about your rewards and incentives, and you're going to get a greater donation. So there's what they call utilitarian comparison or hedonic comparison. I'll give you two examples. So utilitarian says, you know, please donate $2 to Doctors Without Borders. For reference, this is about the price of a bar of soap. Hedonic comparison is please donate $2 to Doctors Without Borders. For reference, this is about the size of a local popular cookie. Interesting. So hedonic is something that you really want to get. You know, that you have something, you know, more people want a cookie than a bar of soap, I guess. So it's things that are associated with self-indulgence. That's what the hedonic basically means. So we know that we don't need that cup of coffee. We may need that bar of soap much worse. But giving up something that we know that we don't need kind of gives us a sense of guilt, you know. It plays on that sense of guilt, I guess. And guilt can be a powerful mover in getting us to donate to things, for better or worse. I'm not saying that's a good thing or not, but that's just the way it works. That's the way people work. People don't want to think of themselves as being selfish, so they're more likely to avoid that. They know that they shouldn't be eating that big cookie, and they don't know that they shouldn't be using that bar of soap. So if they know that they shouldn't be eating the big cookie, maybe donating $2 to the Impact Factor movie project is a better thing to do. Number 8, disclose personal information. So, you know, people want to be able to identify with the people that they're dealing with. You know, I've always said all sales are based on trust and value, and trust is one of those really, really important things that we have to build up. You know, there are a lot of studies that are out there. If you're specific in appealing to someone, then it's much better or much more effective than it is if you're doing it globally. In other words, for instance, world hunger is a powerful, powerful thing that's going on that we can help with throughout the world, and there's millions of people that are affected by world hunger, but world hunger doesn't move us in the same way that, you know, a single person who maybe a young child that is starving right now in Africa, then we relate to that person more. We relate to them personally. So the more information that we disclose about ourselves, the more likely people are to contribute. I mean, I could tell people, you know, things like my age, for instance. I'm getting up there really old, you know. But this is kind of a unique project for somebody of my age. I'm not starting out as a 20-year-old trying to start my film career. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to lead a legacy here for people. Something that I've been working on for decades now, trying to help people leverage art, science, and technology to have a big impact in the world. People can relate to the fact that I'm 68 years old and I'm still plugging away at this, and this is the thing that's most important to me in my life and that I want to do, kind of a mission for that life. Then you can feel that. You can feel that authenticity, and that makes us more likely to, you know, contribute, or, you know, for people to contribute to your project. So, strategy, you know, you need to provide the right rewards and incentives. We've got a lot of great perks that are on our page. So there's a lot of variations within that. You know, there are some things, you know, crowdfunding platforms that are donation based. You know, there's not any rewards, or there's rewards based, or there's lending based, or equity based crowdfunding campaigns. Kickstarter for this campaign is a incentive-based crowdfunding platform, and that means that we're going to offer you value for the money that you invest. So we want to be able to do that in a powerful way. I said all sales are based on trust and value. So the way that we can get more people involved in this project financially is to give them some great incentives to be able to do that, give them real value for that participation in it. They suggest number 10, publicize the names of actual donors. Some people don't want to be publicized, and we certainly respect that that desire for privacy. But a lot of people, you know, feel good, you know, and they respond better to something like, for $1, I'll post your name on a website, as opposed to, for $1, I'll send you a personal thank you email. So when they look at the data to see which one works best, you know, having that personal touch, actually publicizing the names of actual donors makes a big difference. And you should give rewards that are tangible and practical kinds of things. So people are interested in the physicality of things. You know, they want to feel that value in a physical kind of way. So when you give physical rewards, then you're likely to be more successful. Of course, you have to balance that, because it's much harder to give physical rewards. You know, maybe there's things like shipping involved, and especially when it comes to international campaigns, makes a huge, huge difference. So number 12, incorporate many fun reward tiers. So got to have a lot of fun. We got a video coming out here with people saying the impact factor. It's a lot of fun. You know, it's just people that are enjoying that and having fun. You want to have fun with your project, and so why not have a little bit of fun with your crowdfunding campaign? You know, even tragedies and dramas and And all those kinds of movies have to incorporate fun. They got to have lighter moments because we got to have that in life. So I hope you have a little bit of fun with the crowdfunding campaign. We're going to do some silly things. We're going to do some fun things, and that's a big plus too. 13, add new rewards in the final stages. So a lot of times, you know, people put it all out there and they don't think about the course, the arc of the campaign. How many ways we're going to interact with people over time. And if you can add new rewards in the final stages and kick that in, it's going to build momentum, you know, because people love to be surprised with a new idea or a new concept or a new cover or new graphics or new something, you know, just to figure out ways to engage that audience. Number 14, share it with your personal network. Multiple studies in crowdfunding have revealed a powerful influence from geography. The Impact Factor movie is actually centered within a 5-mile radius of Philadelphia City Hall, and that creates some local appeal, you know, and it also creates some national appeal because we're familiar as Americans with Philadelphia as the birthplace of liberty, and there's a lot of themes that tie into Philadelphia that resonate with us on a national basis. So geographic things matter. So if you have things that are specific about geographics, you should talk about those things and get people in that area involved. Number 15, offer the lowest possible donation. You'll notice on our campaign, we're offering $1 contribution level. There's a couple of reasons behind that, because we want to be able to stay in touch with the people. These are people that could potentially raise their donation, but it also helps us to build an audience for the movie. But, you know, even from a practical level, many and actually most crowdfunding platforms display the number of current backers on the project in a very prominent space. So the higher that number is, the more the perceived value of your campaign is. So, you know, potential donors may be looking at that metric and say, oh, you know, 100 people or 300 people or 500 people are already involved in this project. So that must mean it's a pretty good project to back. So you want to maintain your project's momentum all the way through. Number 16 is choose a shorter project duration. Now that seems almost counterintuitive, doesn't it? That if you have less time to raise the money, that you'll raise more money. But if you look at the statistics, you know, campaigns that went out to 60 days are a lot less successful than campaigns that only lasted 30 days. There's a sense of urgency about putting a time limit on things. So doing that kind of shorter duration crowdfunding campaign can be powerful. Give free rewards at various levels. That's number 17. So even though most crowdfunding platforms offer rewards based on donation tiers, you should also kind of spur that along with some things that are based on intermediate goals. So for instance, we could offer things like when we reach $500, I'll post a video introducing the cast. When we reach $1,000, I'll hold an informal meetup to talk about the play. Or when we reach $25,000, I'll post a full transcript of the first screen. You know, whatever that reward is, nothing of that involves money, but it does, you know, kind of incentivate people to donate even in the early stages of a campaign when, by the way, it's really, really important. And we need to keep people updated. So number 18 is provide reminders throughout the project. So percentage of projects that were funded without updates is down to about 33%, where 59% get funded if they have updates. So why wouldn't you do updates, right? So there's all kinds of things that you can update people with. You can do social promotion. You can do progress reports along the way. We've been doing that. New content, reminders. You can answer questions. You could add in a new incentive level. You could send out appreciation thanks to people who are participating in that. Number 19, target donors who can empathize. So don't blast it everywhere, just be strategic. You need to target people who can appreciate the value and importance of your campaign. So who are these people? Usually people that really resonate with the kinds of things that you're trying to talk about. So we're talking about impact and how you can make a difference whether you want to or not, and how you can leverage art, science, and technology, how we all make a difference, and how big impact is created through small actions, and that we all have the power to do that. And just by existing, that you can impact literally thousands of people. And if you leverage art, science, and technology like we're doing with the Impact Factor movie project, you can directly impact millions of people. So these are the kinds of messages that we're trying to put out there, and these are the type of messages that our donors, our potential donors, will resonate with, because they're people who care about the people in the world, who care about doing the small things that make a huge impact. The people that want more positive messages in our life and that want to impact people in a positive way, that's the people that are going to respond to this campaign. Jerks are not likely to respond to the Impact Factor movie because it's very uplifting. It's powerful in the way that we can, contribute to the message and to the positive impact that we have in the world. So let me give you an update. Probably shouldn't have waited this long. That was a lot longer than I thought it was, but I wanted to give you that content in case you're interested in creating a project of your own. You're trying to fund your own project. Definitely, those are some things to consider. So here's my crowdfunding update. Only $250 more in pledges, and we can launch a $50,000 plus campaign. $250, and that will actually increase what we can do up to a $50,000 campaign. So right now we've got $13,250 in pledges, which means that we can launch a $44,000 campaign, which basically surpasses our initial goal by over $14,000. We've had 56 amazing people that have pledged to invest, and the average contribution level is much higher than a normal crowdfunding campaign like this. We're up to $236.60 on average. But since we went over $10,000, Larry Steinhaus promised to add another pledge of another $1,500, which would bring the total pledges up to $14,750, and that would make almost a $50,000 campaign. Since Larry pledged that makes 57 amazing people that have pledged. So at that level, it takes the average pledge up to $258. And basically at $258, only one more person would have to contribute to get over that $15,000. So what's the big thing with the $15,000? Well, if we hit $15,000, Ruth Ann Wood promised to add a pledge of another $1,000, which would bring everything up to to $16,000 actually, which means that we could launch over a $53,000 campaign. So it's a pretty amazing opportunity that we have right this second. So let's fund the Impact Factor movie. Go over to impactfactormovie.com/crowdfunding. Take a look at the proposed incentives. We've got levels all the way from $1 to $15,000 on that page. And then just send me a quick message and comment on this post and say, I'm in for X amount. If you can do the $250, that'll take us over the top. If you can do $50, that'll get us partway there. This is just a pledge to invest on day one of the crowdfunding campaign. No need to take out your checkbook right now. But here's the thing. We're going to try to launch this, assuming I can get my audio going and my video compiled and I can get all the materials up on the website by Tuesday. We're going to launch on Tuesday. And we want all that money to come in the same time, because what will that do? It'll build that momentum. It'll get that early burst of activity on the project that, gets us more visibility and gets us really kicked off in a powerful way. For a short campaign, we'll run about 30 days, and hopefully we'll be able to get up there and actually raise over $50,000 for the Impact Factor movie. That would be fantastic. Is it possible? Yes. Is it easy? No. It only happens with your support. There's no way I can do this without you. So if you can participate, we would love to have you participate. You know, we've got a great social media team and publicity group. The link's up there in the notes. If you want to participate in that, we'd love to have you participate in that. Lots of things going on around here. We've got the Impact School of Marketing, June 5th. We've got a mastermind. If you can get to the suburbs of Philadelphia, we're out in Bucks County in the suburbs of Newtown. We would love to have you join us for that mastermind that we've got going. You can go to impactschoolofmarketing.com/one-day, see all of the amazing people. We'll work on your projects. We can see, you know, how maybe you can apply some of the things I'm learning in this project to your particular project. I'd love to have you participate in that. If you can possibly do it, be here. You can get all the information on that. We've got lots of stuff going on at the Impact School of Marketing, lots of ways that you can get involved. We've got a great class in the evening starting at 7 o'clock. If you'd like to attend that, just go to Impact School of Marketing. You can get in as my personal guest to kind of get a sample of what we're doing. We have a package that we have for our members of personal mentoring and masterminds and classroom instruction, all kinds of good stuff if you want to have an impact. And it's only $997 for a 6-month program. You can participate from anywhere in the world. If you would like to get involved in that, just let me know, and we'll make stuff happen for you. And of course, we've got investor schooling classes. If you're interested in stock option trading or real estate investment, then you can come to a free class here for that too. So just go to investorschooling.com and register for a free class there, and I'd love to see you for some of those too. So I hope you have a great day. Just to recap a little bit, we're just $250 away from being able to launch a campaign that could potentially produce over $50,000. So if we can get over that level, we'll kick in Ruth Ann Wood, her pledge, and that will take us up to the point where we'll be 30% of over a 50,000 campaign pledged to come in on the first day of the crowdfunding campaign. That would give us a huge boost, because 90% of the projects that get early contributions to 30% actually get funded. So that's a good chance that we can do something really, really special. You're the only way that this happens. This is the only way that this happens at all. It's all or nothing. We're going to do an all or nothing campaign. I've already decided we're either all in or we're all out. So it's an exciting time. It's a scary time, but we're going to jump right in. You know, I've been working on this project for 4 years now, and it's time to make it happen. So let's do that. You go out there, have a great day. Do the small actions that have a huge impact in the world. Make a difference today, and just enjoy life, okay? Have a good one.